Hello, hello, welcome back everybody, or welcome. JB's RCs, this is JB here. If you haven't been here before, just do some awesome RC running videos, a few unboxing videos, critique everything as much as possible, and also do tons of upgrades and modifications. Today we're out with the Rock Hobby Mashigan. This is a 1/10 scale 4x4 off-road trail truck. As it is right now, it's stock minus the rims and tires that are on there. I do have some 1/9 metal beadlock deep dish wagon wheels, and then the tires are a Boom Racing Hustler MTZs 1/9s as well. Work pretty good in the sand, digs down pretty well. They're a little bit narrow. I would like something a little wider maybe for good proper sand driving, but we're going to turn this into a rock crawler as much as possible anyway, so got some upgrades coming. This is the last video of the first run that I took with it. So it's still stock electronics, motor, receiver, transmitter, everything. Oh, I did add a spare tire cover on the back there too. That doesn't come with it. But I did buy this used. It was very clean. There wasn't a scratch on the bottom of it. The tires were a little dirty, so whoever had it just probably ran it in some dirt or some sand, like I am now, and either didn't like it or just decided that wasn't something that they wanted. Who knows? A few upgrades though. I think we can make this a pretty solid crawler. Next time I run it, I'll be running it without the spare tire, without the roof, and without the doors. I'll be running it with a magnet on the hood, because you'll see here quite a few times the clips on the hood that hold it in are not very tight, and I think the cord to my battery that I have in there is what was actually kind of pushing it open a little bit. You'll see when it does pop open, it doesn't close all the way. That's not because it doesn't close all the way. I think my wires to my battery are a little bit long and they kind of looped up, and it was actually holding it open just a little bit still. So if I can move those wires down, I'm sure I can get it to close easier, or just close itself even after it pops open. But other than that, we'll be throwing a new ESC in there for sure. I like the servo that's in here. It's slow, but it's strong, but it is loud, so I know a couple times in the video you'll hear nothing up the truck. The gearbox is super smooth and quiet. The motor is a little bit noisy. ESC makes the little buzzy noise when you're trying to modulate slowly with it, so that's annoying. That's why I'm going to change that. And it also doesn't modulate very well at all. I also might change the pinion gear on the motor depending on what's there, and I'm probably going to change the motor as well when I change the ESC out. I do have the Hobby Wing Fusion SE, but that's a 540 motor, and this is a 550 size that's in this truck, and it's quite heavy. I know I said 1/10 scale, but I don't know if you've noticed, I do have a Batman driver in there, and he's a 7-inch figure, which normally would be too big for a 10 scale. And he looks really small in here. I'm going to need an 8-inch at least to fit in this. So I have to look around and see if I can find something a little bigger. He's the biggest one I had. Yeah, he doesn't even go up to the top of the seat, and he's 7 inches tall. So this truck is probably more of an 8 scale, considering Jeeps are a shorter wheelbase and smaller. And this is the 2-door, so it's super short. And this is as long as any of my other full-size 1/10 scale trucks, SUVs and everything. So I think this is more of an 8 scale. Those tires are 1/9s, like I said, and they're pretty decent size 1/9s, and they don't look really big on there. But the leather change I'm going to make to it before the next run is going to be the shocks. Of course, normally these in real life ran leaf springs, and I guess there is a kit you can switch to, but I am not a leaf spring guy. I have one truck, my TF2 leaf springs, and I really don't care for it. There's almost no articulation, and it's very jittery and makes a lot of noise. The leaf springs that are where they're attached make squiggle around a little bit. So I will be putting some different shocks on this though, and maybe trying to figure a way to mount them up a little differently, because they are mounted to the frame rail, so they're really short. I think they're only maybe 60 or 70 millimeter shocks that are on there. It says they're oil filled, but as you can see how bouncy it is, if there's oil in there, it's just enough to make it so they don't squeak when they go in and out. I'm gonna have to put a little more oil in, make sure they're sealed, maybe test that out first. If not, I do have another 70 millimeter set, I believe, or 80 millimeter set I'm gonna try out on there. Some KYX ones that I haven't tried yet. A pretty good crawl, you see right there, or right here coming up, yep. It almost makes it. It's got a pretty good crawl. I mean, like I said, with the top off and the doors off and that spare tire off, and then the new ESC on there to control a little better, I think we're going to have a lot better of a crawler here with this. I'll probably change the tires and rims too, because I did have these on my Cliffhanger SCX10 for a little while, and I was not a fan of them. They're just really narrow, and the lugs that stick out are very flexible lugs. So when they try to bite into something, they kind of just fold over. But great in the sand, great in the mud, good trail tires. And they look quite scale because of the narrowness that's on them. I'm going to get some fatter ones on there for sure. Maybe some of my Baja Pro Line, Baja X, Baja Pro X, whatever they are. I can't remember now. Pro Line Baja X. And then I have, of course, my landmines and my Hyrax. I have a bunch of tires. We'll see what I put on there. Maybe some ruptures even will go on there. We'll see. But until next time, hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks a lot for stopping by. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and smash that notification button. Woo woo! Button smashing all day. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the video and get out there and have some fun, guys.